A lot of you folks have read this story, The Man from Laramie, in the Saturday Evening Post. Well, we made a picture about it out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And here are some scenes from The Man from Laramie.
On one of the most powerful adventure stories ever to appear in the Saturday Evening Post. Read by millions. Now brought to the screen by the star, James Stewart. The director, Anthony Mann. The producer, William Getz, who gave you the Glenn Miller story, Winchester 73, Bend of the River, and many more. He was not inclined to speak his mind, the man from
cause to shoot me.
Shooting's too good for you.
Well, what did I do to you? Tell me, what did I do? I got a right to know.
Yeah, I guess a man's got a right to know what he's gonna die for.
They're coming for their guns. Kill me and they'll kill you.
The Man from Laramie, 1955. A visually stunning Western directed by Anthony Mann. Anthony Mann's The Man from Laramie, starring James Stewart in one of his most complex and compelling Western roles, is a film that transcends the genre's typical tropes. More than just a tale of frontier justice, it's a deeply psychological exploration of vengeance and guilt, as well as the corrosive effects of unchecked power. Set against the stunning backdrop of New Mexico's rugged landscape, the film presents a compelling narrative that delves into the dark corners of human nature, ultimately offering a glimmer of redemption amidst the violence and moral ambiguity. The story centers on Will Lockhart, James Stewart, a stoic and determined former Army captain who arrives in the small town of Coronado. Ostensibly, he's there to buy salt for his freighting business, but his true purpose is far more personal and emotionally charged. Lockhart is searching for the men responsible for the massacre of a cavalry detachment near the Apalache reservation, including his younger brother. The perpetrators, he believes, are supplying repeating rifles to the Apaches, fueling the ongoing conflict and exacerbating the already volatile situation on the frontier. From the outset, Lockhart is an outsider, viewed with suspicion by the established power structure of Coronado. The town is essentially ruled by the aging cattle baron, Alec Waggoman, Donald Crisp, a proud and increasingly paranoid man struggling to maintain his grip on his vast empire, the Barb Ranch. Alec, physically weakened and nearing the end of his life, relies heavily on his son Dave, Alex Nickel, a volatile and deeply insecure young man desperate to prove his worth and inherit his father's legacy. The conflict is ignited when Lockhart unknowingly stumbles upon a cache of repeating rifles, hidden on Waggoman land and intended for the Apaches. This discovery immediately puts him at odds with Dave, who, along with his brutish foreman, Vic Hansborough, Arthur Kennedy, brutally destroys Lockhart's wagon train and shoots all of his mules, leaving him stranded and exposed in hostile territory. This act of seemingly random violence sets the stage for the film's central thematic exploration, the cycle of violence and the destructive consequences of unchecked power. The Man from Laramie distinguishes itself from many contemporary westerns by refusing to paint its characters in simple black and white. While Lockhart is undoubtedly the protagonist, driven by a righteous desire for justice, he is also consumed by his own grief and a relentless pursuit of vengeance. This internal conflict makes him a far more nuanced and relatable figure than the stereotypical Western hero. Similarly, while the Wagomans are presented as the antagonists, their motivations are complex and rooted in their own fears and insecurities. Alec Wagoman, for instance, is not simply a greedy and ruthless land baron. He is a man grappling with his mortality, desperately clinging to his power and legacy. His increasing paranoia and reliance on force are driven by a fear of losing control, both of his physical strength and of the empire he has built. He is also deeply disappointed in his son Dave, whom he sees as weak and incapable of truly leading the Barb Ranch. This disappointment fuels Dave's own insecurities and his constant need to prove himself, often leading to acts of impulsive and destructive violence. Arthur Kennedy's portrayal of Vic Hansbrough is particularly compelling. Vic is not merely a henchman, but a complex and conflicted character who embodies the very essence of moral ambiguity. He is fiercely loyal to Alec Wagoman, whom he has served for many years, but he is also acutely aware of Dave's weaknesses and the potential for disaster. Vic represents the conscience of the Barb Ranch, often attempting to restrain Dave's excesses and offering Alec a more measured perspective. His internal struggle between loyalty and morality is a key element in the film's overall thematic exploration. The film's visual style, typical of Anthony Mann's westerns, is both stunning and impactful. The vast, desolate landscape of New Mexico is used to emphasize the isolation and vulnerability of the characters, while the vibrant Technicolor cinematography captures the beauty and brutality of the American West. Mann effectively uses the landscape to mirror the internal struggles of the characters, reflecting their loneliness, their determination, and the vastness of their emotional burdens. The iconic scene where Dave Wagoman, fueled by jealousy and insecurity, shoots Lockhart's hand at point-blank range is a particularly powerful example of Mann's visual storytelling. The violence is not gratuitous, but rather serves to underscore the brutality of the West and the psychological torment of the characters. This act of senseless cruelty solidifies Dave as the film's most volatile and unpredictable figure, and it further fuels Lockhart's desire for revenge. However, The Man from Laramie is not simply a story of revenge. It is also a story of redemption. As Lockhart delves deeper into the mystery surrounding the repeating rifles, he begins to uncover the complex web of deceit and betrayal that lies at the heart of the Wagoman family. He learns that Dave, motivated by his own twisted ambitions, is indeed responsible for arming the Apaches and profiting from the escalating conflict. This revelation forces Alec Wagoman to confront the truth about his son and the consequences of his own unchecked power. The film's climax is a dramatic confrontation between Lockhart Dave and Alec Wagoman on a remote mountain peak. In a desperate attempt to salvage his legacy and protect his son, Alec ultimately sacrifices himself, allowing Dave to escape. However, Dave's escape is short-lived. He is eventually confronted by Lockhart, and in a final, violent showdown, Dave is killed. While Lockhart achieves his immediate goal of bringing Dave to justice, the film doesn't offer a simplistic or triumphant conclusion. The cycle of violence has taken its toll, leaving Lockhart scarred and emotionally exhausted. He realizes that vengeance, while offering a temporary sense of satisfaction, cannot truly heal the wounds of the past. The film's final scenes offer a glimmer of hope for redemption. Lockhart, having confronted his own demons and witnessed the destructive consequences of unchecked power, decides to leave Coronado and abandon his quest for vengeance. He sells his supplies and gives the money to Barbara Wagelman, Kathy O'Donnell, Alec's niece, to help her build a better life. This act of generosity suggests that Lockhart has finally found a way to move beyond his grief and embrace a future free from the burden of revenge. The Man from Laramie is a powerful and enduring Western that continues to resonate with audiences today. Its exploration of complex themes such as vengeance, guilt, and the corrosive effects of power, coupled with its stunning visuals and compelling performances, make it a true masterpiece of the genre. James Stewart's portrayal of Will Lockhart is particularly noteworthy, showcasing his versatility as an actor and his ability to embody complex and morally ambiguous characters. Ultimately, The Man from Laramie is a cautionary tale about the dangers of allowing grief and anger to consume us. It reminds us that the pursuit of vengeance can be a self-destructive path, and that true redemption can only be found in forgiveness and the pursuit of a more just and equitable future. The film's lasting legacy lies in its ability to challenge our preconceived notions about the Western genre and to offer a profound and insightful commentary on the human condition. It is a film that lingers in the memory long after the credits roll, prompting us to reflect on the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of hope.